Picture this, a man standing over 6 feet tall in an age when most men barely reached 5.5, broad-shouldered, battle-hardened, and with a reputation so fierce, his enemies called him the Hard Ruler. He fought across 3 continents, commanded armies in his final days, and dared to conquer England itself. This is the story of Harold Hardrada, the last great Viking king. Harold Sigurdsson was born in 1015 in Ringerike, Norway, the youngest of several children. His half-brother was Olaf II, later known as Saint Olaf, the man trying to unite Norway under a single crown and Christian faith. By the time Harold was 15, he was already wielding a sword in battle. In 1030, he fought alongside Olaf at the Battle of Stamford against royal forces of Knut the Great, ruler of Denmark and England. It was a disaster. Olaf was killed, Harold badly wounded. Some sources say he was struck in the face and barely escaped alive. He fled east, beginning a journey that would turn him from a teenage exile into one of the most dangerous men in the world. Harold made his way through Kiev and Rus, in today's Ukraine and Russia, and entered the service of Prince Yaroslav the Wise. Here he commanded troops in wars against Poland and the Pechenegs, earning a reputation for cunning tactics. But Harold's ambition reached farther south. By 1034, he traveled to Constantinople, capital of the Byzantine Empire, and joined the elite Varangian Guard, the emperor's personal bodyguard, made up mostly of Scandinavians. This is where Harold became a living legend. He fought in Sicily against Arab forces, in Anatolia against rebellious lords, and even in the Holy Land, defending Christian pilgrims. The sagas claim he fought pirates in the Mediterranean and captured 80 fortresses in Bulgaria. Whether that's exaggeration or not, his name became feared across the empire. After nearly a decade, Harold left Constantinople, richer than any other Norwegian. The sagas say he smuggled his fortune out of the empire by hiding his gold in barrels and even in the masts of his ships. In 1045, Harold returned to Norway with an army of veterans. His nephew King Magnus the Good agreed to share the throne rather than face him in battle. But the partnership didn't last long. Magnus died unexpectedly in 1047, leaving Harold as the sole ruler. Harold ruled with an iron fist, earning his nickname Hardrada, meaning hard ruler. He crushed uprising by Norwegian nobility, tightened royal control over trade and taxation, and expanded Norway's influence abroad. But Harold wasn't satisfied. He wanted to restore the North Sea Empire, uniting Norway and Denmark as Canute had done before him. For nearly 20 years, he waged war against King Sweyn II of Denmark. His campaigns were daring, launching lightning raids on Danish coasts and burning towns to the ground. By 1064, neither side had won outright. Harold signed a peace treaty, but his hunger for conquest was far from over. In 1066, an opportunity arose. Toswick Godwinson, the exiled brother of England's king, Harold Godwinson, came to Harold with a proposal. Invade England and Toswick would help him take the throne. Harold's claim came through a promise made decades earlier. King Harthacnut of England and Denmark had allegedly agreed that if he died without an heir, the throne would go to Magnus of Norway, and after Magnus to Harold. It was thin legal ground, but in the Viking world, a strong sword was as good as any claim. Harold gathered around 300 ships, thousands of warriors, sailing first to the Orkneys and then down to English coast. On September 20th, 1066, he crushed an English army at the Battle of Fulford, capturing York. But King Harold Godwinson responded with astonishing speed, marching nearly 200 miles in just 4 days. On September 25th, the two armies met at Stamford Bridge. The Vikings were caught off guard. Many had left their armor at camp, expecting negotiations. Still, Harold fought like a man possessed, charging at the front with a massive two-handed sword. Then it happened. An arrow struck him in the throat. The Viking fell, and with him his dream of an English crown. Only 24 ships returned to Norway from the 300 that had set sail. Weeks later, Harold Godwinson himself was killed at the Battle of Hastings, paving the way for William the Conqueror. Harold Hardrada's death at Stamford Bridge is often seen as the end of the Viking Age, the last time a great Scandinavian king would threaten to carve out an empire in Western Europe. He died as he lived, in battle, leading from the front, chasing impossible ambitions, and though his conquest ended in failure, his legend only grew. Today he stands as the emblem of the Viking spirit, fierce, restless, and utterly relentless. Harold Hardrada, a warrior, exile, mercenary, king, the last great Viking.